So obviously, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think, anybody living under a rock, even they probably know about the controversy surrounding this game. But apparently there's been some conversation coming out from the executives over at Assassin's Creed Shadows, where for some reason they openly admitted that not only that half of the team that's working on Assassin's Creed Shadows, this is their first game ever, which shows that they don't have the experience necessarily to give you a AAA experience like Assassin's Creed. But on top of that, too, that apparently a lot of the developers that are working on the game absolutely hated the game or hate the game currently in its form right now.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, it is the weirdest thing to admit. I don't understand why you would even bring this up in conversation, but apparently it has been brought up regardless. So we have a headline here from Fandom Pulse that reads, Ubisoft executive says that Assassin's Creed Shadows developers think that it's the worst thing that they have ever seen. So let's get into this article from Fandom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Ubisoft's executive producer for its Assassin's Creed franchise, Mark Alexis Cote, who, by the way, we just did a video not only just a few hours ago, so go check that out on the channel, talking about some other stuff that Mark decided to say. But he shared that a number of the developers on Assassin's Creed Shadows believe that the game is the worst thing that they've ever seen. During the QA portion of the interview, he also revealed that many of the people working at Ubisoft on the Assassin's Creed franchise have no experience with the franchise. Now, this is probably the most telling thing for me, right? I don't really care about the other stuff. I care more about this, right? So half of the people, or more than half of the people that are working on Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is supposed to be one of their biggest Assassin's Creed games ever to date, never worked on the franchise before. That tells me that there is a lot of inexperienced people working on this game. That tells me that there is a ton of DEI hiring that's involved with this game. And then it starts to make everything else kind of piece together and make sense, right? When you start thinking about all the mess ups that Ubisoft has done with this video game, using Chinese architecture, using Chinese subtitles on the Japanese subreddit. Japanese trailer, using, not understanding the seasons within the game and deciding that they're going to just do whatever the hell they want to do and claim that it's representative. Then on top of that too, using Amazon bought products for their showcase and claiming that it's actual Japanese products that are shown there. It's insane what they've been doing. On top of the fact of using Yasuke, knowing what Yasuke was going to do in terms of controversy, because at the end of the day, Yasuke should not be there representing all of Japan, and yet they are for some odd reason, and that's because Ubisoft is ideological psychopaths. We have seen this with their 2B skin over on Rainbow Six Siege, and we're seeing this now play out with Assassin's Creed Shadows, but again, that's neither here nor there. He said, one of the things that I've noticed since the pandemic is that we have a lot of juniors in our teams. Probably half of the team that's building Assassin's Creed is building a game for the first time. So not only do they not have experience working on the Assassin's Creed franchise, but they don't have experience building a game in general. So you have people that are supposedly making the biggest Assassin's Creed ever, and they have never worked on a video game ever before. And that's half of your team? That's absolutely insane. I must feel so bad for the other half of your team that is actually people that have experience, and they have to now carry the people who have no experience on a game like Assassin's Creed that's a massive AAA game that I'm sure has a lot of crunch behind it, and now they just got more work to do because they're carrying people with no experience. So they don't know, he continued, even though they're playing the game right now, and they think it's the worst thing that they've ever seen, it's going to be good. We're going to get there. He elaborated, I've been there. I remember my first time on Assassin's Creed, like it was July, and the game was shipping in October. I was like, there's no way this thing ends up shipping. Oh, 91 Metacritic? Oh, okay, this is good. So I was wrong because it's not good until it is. Yeah, see, here's the thing. These people are in such an echo chamber that all they care about is what the access media says about them. And they ensure that they get maximum results by giving that media access, right? It's a circle jerk. All of it's a circle jerk. So you have people like IGN, you have people like Kotaku that are going to circle jerk Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is going to circle jerk them. And it's just one massive circle jerk fest where everybody is benefiting from it, right? The studios get their high praise, they get their high reviews, they get their high scores, and it makes it seem like their piece of shit game is good, and it convinces some normies who still utilize these websites to go buy the game, not realizing that they got conned, right? They got actually grifted, and that's just what it is. Then he elaborated Again, let me go down. Sorry. Kote's comments come in the wake of Ubisoft delaying the game from its original release date of November 15th to February 14th of 2025. Again, I just find it hilarious that they released this game in Black History Month. I don't know if that's purposeful or not. I gotta imagine it probably is, given that Ubisoft does everything from ideology, but I still think it's hilarious. In September, Ubisoft announced in a press release, Assassin's Creed Shadows will now be released on February 14th, 25. It then explained why. While the game is a feature complete, the learnings from Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. This would enable the biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure with Naoe and Yasuke bringing two very different gameplay styles. Now, again, this is my problem, right? They admit that this is going to be the biggest entry in the franchise ever, right? You have people who have never worked on a video game. Half of your team has never worked on video games, and you have them working on the biggest franchise that's going to come out for this franchise ever. Does anybody else think that that's a little bit insane? I understand having some newbies on your team because they got to learn somehow, some way. I totally get that. But half of your team, probably more than half of your team, has never worked on a video game ever. And you really want us to believe that this is not going to be a buggy mess. You really want us to believe this is not going to be absolute chaos when this game comes out. This is why Ubisoft is spending $20 million over the course of 6 months to try to fix this game before release. They're investing another $20 million. It's astronomical what this game's budget must be. And it has to sell millions of copies to get anywhere close to breaking even, especially after the $20 million extra investment. It just makes it worse. So I really don't know what they're trying to do here. But again, this is coming from a company that says that they want to change the world, right? And they want to change the world by changing people, by forcing people to change. That's what they want to do. Ubisoft continued, we are departing from the traditional season pass model. All players will be able to enjoy the game at the same time on February 14th, and those who pre-order the game will be granted the first expansion for free. The game will mark the return of our new releases on Steam day one. Kote would go on to provide more details in a post to the Assassin's Creed account on X. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dream project for us, finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed within our community in mind, such as parkour or renewed stealth, brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful and immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that can be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists, but we realize we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features. I'm telling you right now, this game is going to be absolutely buggy. There's no doubt about it. Ubisoft games are buggy on day one anyway. Star Wars Outlaws was probably a more egregious example of that, but this game is going to be buggy without a doubt. They can invest another $20 million into the game, and it doesn't matter. Now that I know that you have people who never worked on video games before making up half of your team, I have no doubt that this game is going to be a buggy piece of crap. I'm sure you guys are probably thinking the exact same thing. You can let me know in the comments, but that's what I'm thinking right now. So ultimately, even if this game is good, even if it has a good story, even if it has a good everything else, if you release this game in a shitty state and it turns off a lot of people at day one, I guarantee you your numbers are going to be hurt just by that alone. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.